Hello, it's Meg. I'm gonna try to film my flower essence video again. I think I'm just gonna talk about how I use and do flower essences. So, okay, I like don't even know where to start. I guess I could start with like my story of flower essences. Maybe what a flower essence is. It's like the energetic imprint of a plant. That's what it is. But so that's a flower essence, but for me essences in general, like you can make an essence of anything, which I'll get into. Sorry, there's like so many bottles and things around, which I'll also show. So my introduction to flower essences, I lived in, a punk house, as one does, and one of my roommates had worked at a health food store, and they had all this like cool stuff that they had shoplifted from there. And this honeysuckle essence I sort of inherited from them. This exact one, man. And I didn't know what it was. I was like, this is a weird essential oil. This was over a decade ago. It was so long ago. And so I had this one, and then I moved to a farm years later and learned about herbalism and plants more, and the farmer there had, some Bach essences that they would use, cause they had a teen, an unruly teen. And it was something that they would use. I didn't really understand, but I was like, that's cool. Yeah, like that's definitely things I like. And then when I got back from the farm, I went to massage school, and that's where I found this book, Healing Flowers A to Z by Diane Stein. And there's like a little gift shop at the massage school that we would hang out in during break or whatever, and I marked so many of these. And I opened up to hibiscus, and they didn't sell flower essences there, but the teacher there did. And she had this book, The Flower Essence Repertory, a comprehensive guide to the flower essence research by Dr. Edward Bach and by the Flower Essence Society. And she would stand barefoot behind the counter on one of those acupressure mats, which I have one of those too, and I lay it on this desk at night so the cat doesn't jump up at you, and it works really well, I just want to say. So I got this hibiscus essence from her. She got it for me from the place where she had them and sold them outside of this place. So that was sort of like the beginning, I guess, of my flower essence journey. And then after that, maybe a year later, I started having really bad panic attacks. Let me see if I got this here. And I couldn't ingest anything at all. I couldn't take herbs. They were too intense. I couldn't even eat food at the time. And so I got this Mimulus, and it's Bring Courage. Ugh. The Bach ones are cool because they have like the little thing on there in case you forget easily like I do. Okay, so brings courage and calm to face things that frighten or worry you, also aids the shy and timid. And I think it was Mimulus or Aspen, but it was Mimulus, but Aspen was like the other one that I was sort of thinking about. And I remember I was driving down this like busy road, and I, just put a drop of this in my like big thing of water, and I started drinking the water, and my brain, like something happened where I was just like, and I didn't expect anything. I thought it was going to be normal, and it felt something like shifted in me, and I had to like pull over, and I was like, whoa, like what happened? Like what just happened? It was so weird. Oh my God, it was so weird. And after that, I was just like absolutely a devotee, like hooked. Like it was the only thing that helped me. And even flower essences were too intense for me at the time. It was so weird. Like I understand how like people who don't like exist in these realms might be like, that's fake, or like that's, you know, that's stupid, or no, that's like placebo, it's in your head. It's like, no, dude, sorry, it's not. I mean, maybe that is a part of it and it helps, but I've had the experience of, I don't think this is going to work, and then it just absolutely rocks me, you know? Like, okay, so that was sort of it. Then I was in. I can't tell you what happened from there in terms of my flower essence like accumulation. I have these, the snake agate, snake skin, and passion flower, and this rose quartz saguaro. I never know how to say that, and people make fun of me. Spanish moss and mimosa. These blends were really special. I think they're, yeah. I like these bottles, so I've remade these blends into these bottles, which someone had sent me during a time in which I needed them. And it's also this, like, there are these special things that you can make blends of and give to people to show that you care, or like anything like that. It's a way to use them. I love making flower essence blends, or essence blends in general. It's like a creative outlet too. Like sometimes I'm in the shower and I'm just like, I'll just, like, a blend will come to me and I'm like, oh my God, like I have to make this for my friend's birthday and send it to them, you know, like, and then sometimes a song will come with it and I like include this, like, you know, this blend goes with this song and this is for you, you know, something like that. Anyway, over the years, I've made a lot of different essences. I have lilac and a white bleeding heart. And I want to talk about how I make them too. So right now I'm making a motherwort essence. And the reason I'm doing that is because I love motherwort, but because I have Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, it's not great for me to take motherwort as often as I might like to with my affinity for the plant. So I'm making an essence of motherwort from my yard so I can have that with me as support also. I don't know if I'm answering like any questions. Well, it's a little difficult because I'm just making this video and no one can answer or ask questions. I also have made essences. So in a previous mala bead, or mala that I was using that broke at one point, I made an essence of the guru bead from my mala to use for devotional practices, for offerings and things like that. I've made an essence of doll hair before for a blend that I was making for a specific thing. So you can make essences of anything, you know. And I have other examples. They also make stone essences. So this is a gem elixir from Alaskan Essences. Alaskan Essences are really cool too. I have their cards, which I showed in my plant deck video. And then also environmental essences. This is Craggy Circle from Moon by Moon Apothecary. This is an example of an environmental essence. Alaskan Essence also has that. So like you can make an essence of like a wedding day, or, you know, like any like special event, a lunar eclipse, you know, things of that nature. I have, is this it? No, it's not. Is it nearby? Yes. Okay. So I have this really, it's like an embarrassing looking binder that I keep all of these things in. So I have like printouts from, okay, I'll like maybe like make a video of this binder and show and like insert it or something, because I can't really do it here. Anyway, that's insane. It's a crazy thing. So how I used to work with essences also is with this book. So in this book, it's sorry, it's like charging, so I have this cord here that I need to move, I guess. Okay. So at the beginning of this book, introduction, what are flower essences? What are flower essences? They're subtle liquid extracts, generally taken in oral form, which are used to address profound issues of emotional well-being, soul development, and mind-body health. Prepared from a sun infusion of either wildflowers or pristine garden blossoms in a bowl of water, which is further diluted and potentized and preserved with brandy. Quality preparations require careful attention to the purity of the environment and vibrancy and potency of the blossoms, celestial and meteorological conditions, and sensitive study of the physical and energetic properties of the plant through its cycles of growth. Okay? Yeah, for sure. Also, no, like, you don't have to do any of that. It also says, like, use spring water and, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna, like, buy spring water, and I don't live near a spring. I also struggle with agoraphobia, so I'm not gonna, like, be able to drive to a spring to collect the water. We did used to make things with spring water somewhere else where I lived. So this book has this section here. Okay. Maybe it's at the beginning. Yes, here it is. My bad. Soul issues and themes. And when I first got this book, I was like, wow, I didn't know I could have so many things wrong with me. Because it's like, it goes onto this page too. Ignore those little marks. That's not about me. That's not real. That's for someone else. Okay. And then it has the flower essence qualities and portraits. So this is the Flower Essence Society flowers that they have. I think that there's more than this now. This seems like not very many compared to how many imagine that they have. So then when you find, let's say protection 133, is that right? So you go to this section and they have a list here, or procrastination. Because it's in the middle, so you can see it better. So blackberry, putting ideas into action, awakening the will to manifest one's vision. And so it has these, and so if you picked a few different, like, issues and themes, maybe you would look to this section and say, oh, well, larch is in all of them, so maybe, like, that's the one for me. Or you want to pick a few from each to, like, make a blend or something like that. And then from here, you can go to the back of the book where it has the individual essence description. So positive qualities, patterns of imbalance, cross-reference. So, like, let's say a way that I like to pick essences or working with plants too is just noticing the plants that are growing around me. Like if I'm walking down the street, which I don't really do, but if I was going somewhere or just in my yard and there's like a new plant, I'm like, hey, I've never seen you before. For instance, this year, Star of Bethlehem, man, I have never even seen it in real life. Insane. And it showed up in my yard during this like really intense time of trauma, and it's the trauma essence. It was amazing. Let's read about it. Star of Bethlehem. Unity with the deepest part of the self, sense of inner divinity and wholeness. Shock or trauma, either recent or from a past experience, need for healing and comfort from the spiritual world. So like if I found this plant in my yard and I used PlantNet app to identify it if I didn't know what it was, and then I go to this book and I read about this and then the cross references, I'm like, wow, yes, these are all things that I need to deal with. This is amazing. I'm going to use it, you know? That's a way to work with essences. I feel like I'm unorganized and I don't know how to explain these things properly or fully. So this is just like several ways. So another way that I like to work with plant spirits is to be given an essence. I have tons of, oh my gosh, do I have any examples of them here? No, let me grab. Here we go. Wild ginger, let's say. I'm not sure that that's one that is a good example because I am very familiar with ginger just in general. So just getting an essence or making an essence and using it as a way to like meet the plant and be with the plant. Amanita. Okay. This is from Daughter of Wands. So this is another person that makes essences and is really, I like their essences also. So you don't have to know about the plant. Like if you have an issue and you want to address it and you want to make something for that specifically, then you could do that. Or you could just be open to the plants and the things that are happening around you and pick something based on that. I'm also thinking about how I use them in devotional practices and like magical workings and stuff. And I mean, also, like, I have a rose essence that I keep in my kitchen, and I add it to food that I'm eating. I will sometimes, like, sometimes add drops of an essence to the dishwater when I'm doing dishes, or, like, doing watercolor painting, things like that. Like, if I'm making something like this, like a label for something, I'll usually use an essence in the watercolor painting, because I like to do watercolor painting. This is my most used essence, the Wild Bay Rose from Moon by Moon Apothecary. I have like tons of bottles of this that just are all over, and I go through them. It's my fave, my bestie. An essence that I'm using right now is from Persephone's Path, and this is the pink yarrow essence. I have tons of different pink yarrow in general essences, and yarrow is typically for boundaries. And this one says healthy boundaries, heart healing, relaxation, confidence, and grounding. And the thing is like, that is just what this person is saying. And I think that there's a lot of value in developing your own relationships with the plants. And like I said, when you're making an essence, it doesn't have to be an essence, you know? It can be like something you've created, and I can sort of show you how that would look, I guess. There's also different ways to use them, like I mentioned. There's a book that I have that I don't have here. Obviously, I left it downstairs. Awesome. And it's flower acupuncture. So it's like places in your body that you might use it. I have Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, like I said, and something that's indicated for the thyroid in the acupuncture flower essence book is water violet on the point in your throat where the thyroid is located. Another thing that I use for that is walnut. And I use walnut because it looks like a thyroid. That's the only reason. And you can use things based on something as simple as that. This is the Rescue Remedy. The 5-flower formula. I always forget what's in it. I'm the worst. It's rock rose, clematis, cherry plum, impatience, and star of Bethlehem. Okay, so for making an essence, I just grabbed these 2 little bowls. So just like a bowl. This is like a Pyrex or off-brand Pyrex like kitchen bowl. And what you would want to do if you were doing something, maybe like a water-soluble crystal and you didn't want to put it in there, this is a way that you would do that. Let me grab some things to put inside. Okay, so you would fill this with water and have this be in the center, and then just put things inside of it that you wanted to. So it's like making your own blend, but of objects. So this is like a raw labradorite. These are just like little jewelry pieces that were my grandmother's, a different grandmother and a different grandmother. This is a pin that a friend gave me, and it says victory comes to the worthy. It's like a World War II thing. So this is just like, I'm just giving an example. Like maybe you don't want to put these things in water. You could just put these things in water. A guardian angel. So you could do this with like tarot decks or like images, like pictures of something. Draw your own image and put it in there, like a sigil, something like that. You can also use like tarot, which I've done. I just did a Hermes protective essence, and I used this image from the Hellenic Oracle, and then also a Hermetic tarot card. So you can do this where it's underneath. You can make a magical object that you're putting an intention into and it has a specific meaning for it, and then you can make an essence of that to come back to that working later if you need to like dismantle it, but then maybe you want to, or if you want to take it with you. So a lot of the ways in which I use these is for offerings in, we'll just put everything in here. Devotional offerings at an altar, or also like in nature, you know, like if I see a plant and I want to like harvest some things from the plant, maybe I'll leave like a drop of an essence as an offering for the plant. The other thing I use for offerings for that is typically like some hair or just like plain water or something. But I don't know, this is just a way that I like to also make things. And it's also, like I said, like a way to make an essence or make like a spell water. I don't know how to explain. I just feel weird and cheesy saying certain things, but this is something that I do or would do. If you have any objects that mean something, like I said that I made a guru bead essence at one point in the past to continue on to like, you know, using that to then like anoint my next mala or whatever. Okay. I think that that's good enough. I can also say how I use the decks that I have, like essence decks. So I mean, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. I did mention that I used that specific Bach deck because Bach essences are so accessible. You know, you can go to like Whole Foods and get them. Flower Essence Society is also accessible. Like everything's accessible online. This one, this reishi, I think that Blossoming Resistance, they don't make essences anymore. Okay, so another way that I like to use essences, which I've mentioned before, is a million times before perhaps, sprays, my fave. My absolute fave. Because they can like smell nice and stuff like that, and it just feels like it's like not only on me, but like around me. So these are two that have been made for me. Giving space and intuitively move, which I love. And I also like I just collect bottles. I have like a huge bin full of bottles. And the sort of bottles that I mean, this is an essence spray that I made before. And this one smells really intensely like vetiver. So I don't know what's in this anymore. When I'm done, it just sort of like, I'm like, thank you so much. And then it goes into like the big bin or whatever. I have just like pretty bottles like this. Whenever I go to like a thrift store in the past when I've gone, I get like any weird sort of dropper bottles that I find, sort of medicine-y things. Spray bottles, more spray bottles. I also have these itty bitty, oh my gosh, you guys, look at this itty bitty. They're so cute. I have a million of those. Here, look at this. Oh my god, so cute. I have like a whole box of these. More little itty bitty ones. And these don't have like the dropper top, and you don't need that necessarily. I do have these sort of, these guys, you know, if I wanted to use it that way. And then there's like a little, so you can put it in. Fun. Whole box of those. And then I like using these for blends to make a little blend. If it's in a bottle like this that I can't use. These are my favorite, I guess. These ones. My Wild Bay Rose is in it. I think that's why I'm like partial to it. Typically, I think they also say to use a colored glass so that it's not affected by things. I don't know. I don't agree. That's the thing is like there are like guidelines and rules for this type of stuff, but what I'm saying is you can break all those rules. You don't have to do anything they say. Oh, so I'm going to insert a video clip of me making the flower essence, the motherwort, right now. So the other thing is when I was making these white bleeding heart essence and the lilac essence, I didn't live where I found those plants, and I was living in the city. And so what I would do is, it says like in an open bowl, and you want to pick the best flowers and like have it sit there and stuff. And I took this out, and I'll show you. I took this bowl, not this one, but one just like it, with water inside of it, and I ended up using that water as like an offering to the plant. But I also took a closed jar, so Because if I leave this bowl out in my yard, my dog's going to drink that water. Like, she's going to drink that flower essence water. So, so I like to use a closed jar if I'm doing a daytime one in which my dog's outside. There is a way for me to do it, like a moon essence or something at night where it's open and can catch that light, and like the environment in it also. But when I would sort of like, you know, guerrilla like theater, like make my own essences in the city, I would like stealth, like go up and like pick some flowers and put them in this lidded jar and then like hide the jar closed next to the plant, and like come back later to get it. Hey, we're outside. Okay. I wanted to show you my hot pink Crocs, but I didn't even do that at all. That's why this long little meandering through my yard down to this thing. But also, you know, the weird mask on the ground. We also live in a busy road, so sometimes there's trash, which is fun, cool. Here we are at the motherwort that is growing in the former garden, which also houses the future fence. There she is. Beautiful. Love her. Here's the bowl that I brought out it's just an example though. Like I said, my dog's going to drink out of that. And here's a little jar of water. And I just use filter water. We have like a really nice filter that we have under our sink and a separate faucet for filter water. I just use that. Look at her. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love, so beautiful. So the flowers are very tiny. And normally what you want to do is like fill the whole like top of the water with the flower, but I'm not doing that. I like it slight. Oh, here's the dog. Here's the dog in question that will drink the water. She's busy. So anyway, I just wanted to show that that's like something I would do. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh, I have more bottles. So like sometimes I have these really, really beautiful bottles. I've used these before. These are like vintage Avon perfume bottles. I have a bigger version of this one too. And these are ones that if I make an essence and I'm using it for a specific devotional thing, or if it's going to sit on like an altar, like this would be maybe like a really beautiful Aphrodite devotional essence bottle. And this will just sit on the altar. Hello again. The other thing that I like to do is have these waters on the altar, and then later, you know, like if you're doing a novena or a long time devotional, and then in the end using them to water the garden or in a bath. And not go anywhere. The other ones are just like, you know, take and go. These ones live on all the sprays live on my where like I meditate and do yoga and stuff like that. I don't know why. That's where they stay. That devotional zone. I have like 1 million. Okay, some other books that I grabbed. This is a cool book. Stars of the Meadow, Exploring Medicinal Herbs as Flower Essences. So, and this book sort of gave me the, you know, like, oh yeah, I can just use the essence of motherwort also. An astrological study of the Bach flower remedies. I like this one. Agrimony, which I already knew, but I like this. I like being validated in this way. Agrimony is the Sagittarius essence. So it's like people who... Oh, what's this? Acts towards others should be as delicate as the steps we take on a land that is part of ourselves. Lovely. Let's see here. Impatience for Aries. What do you mean? Wait, what was the Scorpio one? Chicory. Interesting. Chicory is the like codependent essence. Wow, I'm getting really called out on this on these things. But this is a cool book. Also, I have tons of flower essence books and herb books. These are just a few that I grabbed. This is one that I read last year that I mentioned. This is like, I think this would be a really good like first book for someone wanting to explore plant spirit relationships because it has questions for self-reflection, meditation, and like a summary for each of the chapters. It's very cool. So this is one that I would recommend for that. I don't know. What else is there to say? I guess the decks, I think I was going to mention something about that. So in like a reading, I might draw, like I said, the Bach essence cards at the end to have like a wrap up and be like, hey, maybe this is like an additional information for the reading, but also a suggestion of something that people might want to explore or something. Okay, so this is the flower energy cards from Alaskan Flower Essence. I think this is fireweed. Yes. Okay. On the backs of this, it has the keywords and then an affirmation. So a lot of work with essences also includes an affirmation. So I don't really always do that. But it's cool to have them provided because I'm honestly not very good at coming up with affirmations or thinking of them. But yeah, like if I didn't want to think too much about what essence that I wanted to use or to work with, I might just grab a deck and like pick a card instead. Oh man, I don't think I have this essence, but I really want it. It's like on my list. I surrender all inner conflict with acceptance and love. I honor my healing journey with awareness and understanding. Not even like because of this part, but because of how cool and beautiful it is. I just want to, it's like, I just want to get to know this plant. And this is like a way in which I enjoy like connecting with plants. Especially as someone who, you know, struggles with agoraphobia or like can't always get out to go do things anyway. You don't have to be agoraphobic to have that experience. Like I think that a lot of people are busy or, you know, don't have access to green spaces and stuff. And you don't need the essences either. You can just do like a little journey thing or whatever. And, you know, I think maybe it's been said too that you can make an essence of the plant from like these cards. Like maybe you like do the water thing over it sort of thing. That's cool. It's like having them. Or I think in the Rose Alchemy Oracle, oh man, I'm just like waiting for my mom or someone to buy me that deck. But it's like, I think that she said with that one is that you can like use those images, the card images on like certain points in your body that like need that certain flower, that certain rose healing. And that's something you can also do with these decks too, I think. Let me just look around at all my stuff and see if there's anything else I wanted to add. Hello there. Another thing is just using tarot, right? So you can do a tarot reading, and from the overall theme of the reading and the message, you can make an essence to sort of integrate that, which is another cool thing. Okay, so I'm going to try to show some of this book. I'm not going to try to add things in. Oh no, it's too dorky. Okay, so my friend Chanel at Moon by Moon Apothecary has been sort of like my flower essence mentor. And also there's a Asia Suler from One Willow Apothecaries. They have some flower essence classes that are super cool that I've taken also. But I don't take classes anymore. I'm not really into taking classes. I'm more into like doing things on my own. Oh, I also took Persephone Path's poisonous plants class. But that was just more of like journeying with plants and not necessarily anything to do with the other stuff. So if you're thinking about making a poisonous plant essence, you're going to want to do it like this also, or just have the water like next to the plant, or have it be like a do not ingest sort of situation. Because there's been people in the class that I was in that got an essence that was improperly made and they got really sick from it. From a poisonous plant, because it was poisonous plants class. Anyway, so Moon by Moon Chanel, she has on her website, which they all do on the Alaskan Essence website, to get access to their book that's like a living book that keeps getting updated. It's on their website. You just like pay for it. I'm not doing that. But okay, let's see. Where am I? Okay, there's just like a lot of other herbalism things happening in this. So she has these PDFs on her website that explain each of the essences in her experience. And that's the thing too, is that you can make your own like flower essence book. The meanings in this book, where to go? This are different than in, not all of them are different than in the other one. So in this one, for like honeysuckle, it's like fairy sight and all this stuff. And I was like, whoa, sick, I have that essence. And then in a different book, it's gonna explain that essence differently. So I can't wait until she actually like prints this into a book, but I have it in my binder for now. And then I have every single like blend, or she had this thing that I was participating in also for a while where she would send this like little booklet along with this essence. So in August one year we did goldenrod, and she has notes and impressions, so like a little guided like journal thing in here. And then like really cool. Okay, let's see. Okay. On the next full moon or evening of your choice, light your yellow candle and recite the following incantation. So it's just, it is magic, man. And there's bee balm and mimosa. So these little books, I have like a bunch of them. I usually lay them flat and sort of put them in here. But then also whenever she sends, okay, I have these blends from her. This is one of the most recent ones that I got. It's an essence of honeysuckle suspended in a tincture of peppermint, a lifting wing. This one is currently staying on my Hermes altar, a lifting wing, And then she'll send these like descriptions. So it's also, flower essences are poetry. It's plant poetry, and making a blend is poetry. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just so amazing and beautiful. But I have this whole binder that's full of like all this stuff. I think that's it. I think that's all I really have to say. So yeah, watercolor paintings, devotional offerings, just like little sneaky ways to like be outside and be grounded and connect. When you have the plants, you can ask the plants for things, like wild bay rose. My connection with rose is, it's not like, oh, it's about like love and like these specific things. It's like beyond that now. Like this is, I feel so emotional. Pansy is also another one. It's like my connection with them is beyond the like written meaning. It's like I can say like, excuse me, hello, excuse me, can you how about please help me with this right now? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I think that's, so plant spirit communication, I feel like I'm not getting across that you can make an essence of anything. So like my friend, so like this, right? Anything, like a little blend. This is like a little, what is this? This is like a ancestral protection blend, honestly. Like that's what this is. Little guardian angel, little grandmas, a little victory comes to those who deserve it sort of thing. My friend sent me this little like statue guy. Well, it's a statue now. And this goes in here. The rose goes in between his hands. And it's for meditating on geological time. And I could make an essence of this if I want to. Doll hair, little inner child. So really anything you want, Water is healing. Okay, I'll stop now. I think that's it. If you have questions about like these things, ask them. I probably don't have the answers, but the thing is there are no answers, man. You just do it. Just do it and experiment and get to know things around you and like tap into that creativity if you want, because it's there for you. But if you do have questions, just ask and I'll try. But don't I'm like, I keep repeating myself. You don't have to do what they say. You don't it doesn't have to be spring water, be whatever freaking water you want it to be. It doesn't have to be in like a crystal. I used to use crystal bowls like 8 years ago. I'd always use like this beautiful crystal bowl. And then I was like, is there lead in this bowl? Because it's an old ass bowl. um, so just like use whatever you have. And it's all about like the intention and, you know, the relationship you're willing to build and how open you want to be with it, I guess. Okay. Okay, I love you guys. A lot of people have been requesting this, so hopefully it's like what it's, you know, supposed to be.